Happy Friday.
Hello.
You put everything as it was before, right?
Yes.
You then okay. Leave
Yep,
behind. I saw it like that, but I'm like, I just want to make sure we saved it that way.
Yep, I switched it all around. How's everybody doing?
Happy
Happy
Friday.
Friday.
Friday. Goodness, thank goodness.
TGIF.
Yes, I'm sure we'll have more joining, but we can start with housekeeping so that we're
Sure.
moving right along while we're waiting for others to join. Go ahead, Annette.
Okay. So lines muted unless speaking. Share stories, experience tips. We want to hear from you. Ask questions, make recommendations, and tell us what you want to know. Okay, next slide. We're going to do our introductions.
I'm
Done.
Dawn Biella. I've been at Approved Senior Network for 2.5 years now. I've been in home care for a really long time. I like to say in the trenches of home care because that's how it feels sometimes. I've been in sales, marketing, operations, helped to grow the last company into the millions of dollars in a really short time. And so I'm happy you're here today. I love sharing all of our information with you, and I'm glad you could make it today. Go ahead, Lisa.
Hey, I'm Lisa with ASN. I have been in home care forever and ever, and I just love all the things that you guys do, and I love being a part of your journeys here. Love talking with owners, marketers, all of that. And so I'm just here to support you in any way that I can. I also was in marketing forever and ever, not just home care, but marketing too. Wore every single hat because you know how hard it is to stay in your own lane in home care. You do have to touch everything in the trenches. And yeah, I'm just happy to be here with you guys and part of your journey and your experience. Annette.
Hey everybody, I am Annette Ziegler and I am a sales training expert with ASN. I teach the sales training classes. I have over 20 years of experience in home care. I worked in a CCRC for 13 years and 8+ years in a home care agency as a community liaison manager. I helped bring the agency from 1 million in sales to 4 million in sales. And I loved what I do, and now I love teaching what I did to be successful. So I'm glad you're here and welcome.
Yep. And did you guys see in the chat there? I just sent a little happy Friday. Here's the chat if you guys want to say anything or ask any questions, or you can always just pop in and ask us.
Okay.
Yep.
So how to watch the meetings you missed. From the desktop, you log into the forum, homecaresalesforum.com. You use your email, whatever email was mailed to you. And if you don't have the password, you just hit forget password feature and they'll send you a password. And then you're going to go to that little arrow that says learning. And then next slide. And then you'll just click into this box, the Continuum Mastery Sales Circle. And next slide, you'll see all of January or all of the Mastery Circles from January up until now. Okay, and then the next we have a mobile version. So if you're on the fly, you want to listen in the car, or you're out on the road, it's called the Colab app, KOLAB app. And you would go to this is for Apple, you would go to your app section and look for the Colab by Lead Connector and download it. And then next slide, that is for the Android. So you can download the Colab by Lead Connector for that. And then next slide. So then you would just click onto it and it says join group, but if you're already a member, it'll just bring you right into it. That next box, manage, that's for us. So you don't have to worry about that. And then next slide. So it's going to bring you right into the forum. And then in the bottom, there's a little box that says learning, and you're going to click on learning, and then you'll be able to go to all the masteries to listen. And like I said, listen on the fly. So it's great to have the app.
And outside of that, people are sharing their wonderful leave behinds. If you're not going into the forum, you're missing all the chatter and all the things that are going on in there. Lots of great leave behinds and questions and answers and all kinds of great stuff. And you get this one for free because you're in mastery. You get to it's open to you to do that whenever you'd like. Did you have anything else to add?
Nope, I was just going to agree. Everybody that's in our sales training classes, they're sending what they're doing out on the road and they're asking questions. So go in here. It's great information. It's a very active forum and we want you to be part of it.
Yeah, and you can get different takes too on some of the leave behind ideas. I love to see everyone's ideas. I love that you guys send pictures in. I just think they're all the greatest. So thanks for doing that.
So today we are going to cover 2024 revenue. How are we doing? Are we getting close to hitting the numbers that we wanted? If you're in marketing, I don't know that you're looking at revenue. Maybe you're looking at how many stops a week or how many signed jobs, whatever it is that you're looking at. This is a really good time before the last quarter of the year starts to look at your goals and what is your progress and how are you doing. We're going to identify strategies and actions to implement now to increase revenue and achieve targets before the year end. We're going to review and proactive measures to manage the anticipated December revenue drop. I don't know if you guys are aware that this happens, but we'll talk about it. We're going to implement strategies to maintain momentum and minimize the impact of that year of end drop. So we're going to try to minimize that. And then Lisa will review for the September, October, and November leave behinds. The first thing we're going to talk about is meeting those revenue goals. So looking at this as an owner and even marketing managers, even some of the marketers are attuned to this. This was shared with me in different positions in home care, especially when I was general manager, operations manager. But usually if you're in marketing, you're looking at some kind of goal. It may not be revenue. It may be stops. It may be how many you've signed, how many clients you've signed for the year, all those different things. So it's important to be tracking and watching these things weekly and not wait till a quarter ends or until a month ends or a year ends. It's already too late to go back and fix anything that wasn't working properly. So we're going to go to a KPI sheet that is going to help us with your current standing versus your projected, key factors that are impacting performance. And it's not just marketing. There are other factors that are going to impact your revenue performance, areas of strength and opportunities for improvement, adjustments or strategies to accelerate the growth, and expected outcomes by the year end. So we're going to go to this KPI sheet. I'm going to make it just one more bigger. Can you guys see that okay? Yeah? Okay. So this KPI sheet has all the goals for the main areas that I have felt through the years affect revenue. You may agree, you may disagree, you may see that there are other areas that affect it. I feel like these three areas definitely affect revenue. One being sales and marketing. So that's your person that's out in the field, the people signing the jobs, the clients. Scheduling, staffing, client services, care managers, they're called all different types of things. And then recruiting and retention. If your sales and marketing is signing, and you don't have enough caregivers, you can't grow. And so definitely recruiting and retention is going to be important. If your marketer and the scheduling team isn't able to staff those jobs, right, because they're too busy with call-offs or too busy scheduling something that came in a couple of days ago and they just haven't gotten around to it or haven't had time, that's also going to affect revenue. So it's important that we're looking at everything when we're looking at revenue. It's not just sales and marketing. Everybody's involved, not everybody, but these are the three main areas that I feel like revenue is affected by. So if we're looking at sales and marketing, the goals that we're looking at for your sales and marketer is 40 to 50 stops a week, 15 to 20 of those being face-to-face, 5 to 7 referrals will start coming from this. Is this going to be tomorrow? No, it's not immediate. It can take time because what's happening here, if it's done correctly, is relationships are being built. And Rome wasn't built in a day. Neither are relationships. It takes some time. It doesn't take a year, but it takes some time. So from 40 to 50 stops a week, 15 to 20 being face-to-face, you should eventually start getting 5 to 7 referrals from that. When you have calls coming in, 70% of those should be booked, 90% should be signed. Eventually, you're going to have 3 to 4 jobs a week that you're signing. So this is what marketing needs to be doing every week. This is an example of billing. Maybe you want to get to 1.5 million in revenue for the year. To do that, your weekly run rate is 28,846. All I did was divide 1.5 million by 52 weeks. This is your weekly run rate. So we need to be watching this weekly. If I wait until the quarter is over and I'm way off, I can't fix it. So we need to be watching that weekly. So I'm going to go into my marketing tab down here on the bottom. And if you're meeting with your marketer or you are a marketer, it's really important to track, am I hitting my numbers every week? Again, you don't want to wait to the quarter. The quarterly revenue goal is 375,000 if you want to hit 1.5 million. Does this mean, if we go back here, I just want to address something because I get asked this question all the time. Does this mean I can only hit 1.5 million if I have one marketer? Is that it? Do I have to have 7 marketers to go higher than that? No. This means it's a general number. It depends. These jobs that are assigned, are they all 24s? If they are, this number is going to be a lot bigger. If they're all little tiny jobs, this is going to be a lot smaller. So no, you're not limited to 1.5 million because you have one marketer. I would have them go after bigger jobs. We teach you in Mastery Circle, we teach you in our home care sales training how to get the 24s, right? Where to go to get the bigger jobs. So you're not limited to 1.5 million because you have one marketer, but you would want them. You might add a KPI here. One of these jobs every week or 2 jobs a month need to be 24s. You can add something like that to the KPIs to be tracking it and watching it. This isn't just, I want to see what my marketer's doing. This is also, when you shine a light on something, you're watching it. You're watching it and you're able to react. You should react. If it's not what you want it to be, you're reacting to it. And so these numbers aren't just about holding people accountable and are they hitting their numbers? Of course, that's a piece of it. But another piece of it is, oh gosh, we haven't signed 3 to 4 jobs in 3 weeks. What's going on? And so it's about also shining a light on all of it. So you meet with your marketing people, team, person, whoever it is, and every week they're filling this out. Where are we at in stops? How many were face to face? And you're just watching it. Your weekly or your quarterly run rate is 375. As I'm filling numbers in here, the number over here is going to change to 143. I have a weekly run rate of 28,000. I have not gotten very close. Here's one week where I got somewhat close to it. If I was over here and it's really dropping, what did we do the week before in marketing? Why did it go up? What happened? I might look at that. You're watching for trends too. The biggest piece of this though is you're not waiting till the end of the quarter to see that you're way, way off. You're watching it as it goes. If you're not getting close, what can I do next week to turn this around? What needs to happen to turn this around by next week? And the other piece in home care, and we're going to talk about this, in December, things drop. Revenue usually drops in December. And we'll get into the why. And so if you think that you're going to go through oh, I'll catch up later, I'll catch up later, I'll catch up later. December's not going to be the month you're going to catch up. I promise you that. And so you have to build a padding. October and November, even September, we're going to talk about a little bit today. I'm going to start padding and I want to be over 28 every week when I get to my 3rd quarter because December drops. And so we want to still hit our numbers. So it's good to know all of this ahead of time. Anybody have any questions about marketing or any of these numbers so far? If you do, put them in the chat, raise your hand, because I'll just keep talking and talking. Okay, let's look at scheduling. How do they have anything to do with revenue? They do. They absolutely do. Your scheduling team should be able to do some quick starts. That means it starts within 24, 48 hours. This client's going to start. And you know what? If they're out there marketing to a new SNF, they will test them. When we say we can do some quick starts, that new social worker that they're just meeting is going to go, well, I have someone starting today. I have someone that needs to start tonight. Or they're in a panic and can she? I wonder if she can do this for me. She was just here. Let's try it. Your scheduling team needs to be able to do that. They need to be able to do 3 to 4 quick starts. It depends on your volume. If you're a smaller organization, it might be 1 quick start a week. It depends on what's going on. If your marketer's new and they're getting tested constantly because they're new out there, it might be more quick starts. They need to be able to do this. How will they be able to do this? They need to be staffed out ahead at least 48 hours, 72 hours on Friday, 50 to 70% of the week. So what does that mean? When you're smaller, a job comes in, it's 7 days a week. You just sit down and staff it, the whole thing, right? But as you get bigger, it doesn't work like that anymore. As you get bigger, I'm going to staff Monday, Wednesday, Friday today. And then in a couple days from now, I'll probably staff Tuesday, Thursday. And then I'm going to continually try to staff Saturday, Sunday. You staff in bits and pieces as you grow. And it's just the sheer volume. I'm not really sure why it happens this way, but it does. And Annette and Lisa have been in big, larger companies, and they will attest to this too. If your staffers are not schedulers, client services, whatever you call them, if they are not staffed out, so when they go home on Monday, everything is staffed through Wednesday. Okay, so everything is staffed through Wednesday. So any new jobs that are starting are staffed through Wednesday when they go home on Monday. If they can do this, it opens them up, it frees them up to deal with call-offs. It would be horrible to come in on Tuesday, you're still staffing for Wednesday, you're dealing with call-offs, and now your marketer just called and there's a quick start tonight. So they have some responsibility to the revenue. And for us to do what we need to get the marketer to get done what needs to get done, they need to be staffed out 50 to 70% of the week, at least 48 hours. And then on Fridays, staff through Monday, because Monday is call off city, right? We don't want to be staffing still for Tuesday on Monday because we've got call offs to handle. Do we have a question?
Amen to all of that. Yeah, I'm just asking about the Excel spreadsheet, if that will be included in the replay.
It is this link right here.
Okay.
So when you get the
Wonderful.
slide deck and you click meeting revenue goals, it'll bring you to the KPI sheet. And you're not going to change it. You're not going to do anything. You have to go to file, make a copy to make yourself your own copy, or you can download it as an Excel spreadsheet and then you can edit it as much as you want. Okay,
Perfect.
so that is staffed out. They also need to have less than 10% of total missed shifts. So caregiver calls out sick. When I call that client, schedulers, staffing, they need to be trained to say, your caregiver is out sick, we have so-and-so coming. Your caregiver is out sick, we're working on a replacement. Not, your caregiver is out sick, do you want a replacement? They're going to say no. They're going to say no, and you're going to lose billable hours. And the adult child's going to be furious because, of course, mom's going to say no. Why did you ask her? Why would you ask her that question? Something to add.
Yeah, no, just they want that familiarity. Never ask, just tell them
Don't ask. They're on their way. They're leaving now. They're on their, whatever it is. Yep. They've got to be trained. We were losing hand over fist in missed shifts. Oh my gosh, hand over fist. I can't even tell you. That affects revenue, right? It affects revenue. It's hard though for a client care service or staffer to say, we'll have someone out there in an hour. They have no idea who's coming, maybe. That's hard to say, right? They have to find this person, but they have to be trained to say it that way because you're going to lose those billable hours. Then the senior gets used to, oh, I don't really have to do this. And then maybe they get by 2 or 3 days without care. You know what? I don't need a caregiver at all. I'm good. I survived. She didn't come for 2 days. I survived. I don't need this at all now. I've seen this happen over and over again. So this absolutely can affect revenue. Increase client hours based on needs. Caregivers should be talking to client care, staffing schedule. They should be talking to them. If you're doing overnights 3 nights a week, 4 nights a week, and the caregiver comes back after they've been alone, and it is just hell's bells awful. Like they've walked in and it's like, what happened? They need overnights every night. They can't continue. They're gonna fall, right? Or they're just seeing weird middle of the night. She's completely out of it. She's trying to hop out of bed by herself. They need to tell the scheduling team, and the scheduling team needs to react to that. The adult child is called. If we need to get the marketer back involved or whoever signed them to call the adult child to explain this, great. Client care should be able to do it, but if for some reason they don't feel comfortable or they feel like it's going to be a problem, get the person who signed them up to call and say, your mom's in danger. She's absolutely in danger. Of course, we're not going to increase hours if they don't need it, but we know that none of them signed up for as many hours as they need to begin with, right? It's very difficult to get them to sign up for what they actually need. So they should be able to increase hours, but there should be some room in there for them to be able to do that. Lost clients. Now, lost clients, again, some of you might be thinking 2 to 3 clients a week. That's terrible. Depends on your volume. We had 400 clients. Yeah, we could lose 2 to 3 in a week. Just like that. Of course, people die. We can't count them. That's just we count them as lost revenue, but we're not going to count them as somebody we could have saved. If the caregiver has called out 3 days in a row, the caregiver has been late every day, we can see them clocking in and out. When they're late, we call, right? Are you there? Did you make it? Did you just forget to clock in? What's going on? If we know they're late, there's a good chance somebody's going to be quitting our services. There's a good chance they're calling other home care agencies. When that starts to happen, somebody needs to call and make nice with the client, with the adult children, whoever it is who's responsible for making that decision. And you don't have to call and say, caregiver's been late 3 days. Are you mad? It's not about that. It's how are things going? Your mom seems to be doing pretty well. You're just filling them out. And then she's going to say, caregiver's been late 3 days in a row. Okay, let's replace her. Let's do that. Okay, let's fix this before it blows up and it's a huge problem and they quit. So the scheduling team needs to be in tune to all that's going on, because lots of times they're not going to call and say, she's late, we don't like her, we want her gone. They don't want to hurt feelings. They don't want people to get in trouble. It's our job. We know they clocked in late. We're aware. They're on GPS. We're aware. So let's react to that. If it's a call that's uncomfortable, get your person, your marketer, whoever signed them up, to call and have that conversation.
We have a question here, Scott.
Oh, hi, Scott. Oh, you're muted.
Hey, sorry, I was late. We had a little trouble getting approval there. With your clients, less than 2 to 3, and I'm guessing that, if you've got a 400 client base, so should you always aim for less than 10%, no matter what your number is?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yep. You're welcome. Number of caregiver shout outs. Scheduling gets upset with the caregivers because the caregivers are calling out and it's every excuse under the sun. And I was always defending the caregivers, and they would say to me, her grandma's died 8 times. I don't believe her. I just don't believe her. And they get mad at the caregivers and they're sick of the excuses. So I wanted to force my scheduling team to look for good things that the caregivers are doing, because we all know they're doing way more good than they're doing bad. And so I forced them to give me shout outs, 3 to 4 shout outs about caregivers every single week. I want to hear something good that they're doing. I want to put it in my newsletter. I want to shout out to the caregiver in front of everybody on Facebook. Whatever it is, they deserve that shout out. What they're doing is hard work. And I want the scheduling team to be watching for the good, so they're not so focused on the bad. So that was part of it too. And that helps retain caregivers. And that also helps affect revenue. If we don't have caregivers, we can't staff clients, therefore revenue. So all of this goes into the revenue. When I'm looking at my scheduling, my staffing sheet, I did not include revenue on here. I also do not have revenue on recruiting and retention. It depends who you've hired. Your marketer, I show them revenue. They're driven. They want their commission checks. They're different people sometimes, not always, than scheduling and recruiting. Sometimes people in the office think, oh, you're focused on revenue. You don't really care about seniors. This is about money for you. This is a business for you. You don't really care. Your recruiting or retention people are going to be more heart people. Your schedulers could also be more heart people. And if you think they're going to be good with revenue and numbers, share it. I just share this with you because I've ran across this myself, where they've said to me, the owner only cares about money. This is terrible. Why is she in this kind of business? So that's just a word of caution. But they're also tracking what they're doing. And the same thing with recruiting and retention. So let's get into their numbers. They need to be refreshing their ads for caregivers at least once a week. When you refresh an ad, you really only need to change the headline. It moves you back up to the top. Otherwise, you place your ad on Friday, maybe whatever day you do it, you're moving down, you're moving down, you're moving down, because other people are writing ads. When you refresh the headline, it pops you back up at the top again. You want to be the top. You want everybody to see it. So refreshing the ad is important. Change the headline out completely, because that's really what attracts them and gets them to click on your ad to begin with. So the headline needs to be replaced weekly. Number of caregiver leads coming in from ads. Now, I have seen through the years that all of this just splits in half. So if you want to hire 4 to 6 caregivers a week, you need to interview 8 to 12 caregivers, and you need to have 16 to 24 applicants coming in. It just breaks in half as you go. It's just always, I don't know why, it's just always been like that. So that's what this looks like. If you want to hit your signing 3 to 4 jobs, you also need to be hiring probably about 4 to 6 caregivers. You need to think about the kinds of jobs. Marketing should be talking to recruiting. For me, when revenue starts to go down, or the third quarter, I'm going to start padding, right? Getting ready for December. I'm going to start going after 24s. I'm going to start going after the big jobs. Recruiting needs to know that, because they need to start hiring 12-hour caregivers or live-ins, whatever it is that you're doing. They need to know that ahead of time. It takes a while to onboard. It takes a while. So if marketing is going to go hit something hard, maybe we're going to focus on Alzheimer's. Maybe we want all Alzheimer's clients this next month. Recruiting needs to know that, because they need to find caregivers specialized in that, or they need to be training them in orientation for that. So just make sure everybody's communicating with one another. As you grow, the departments tend to break off and operate separately, and there's not a lot of communication on because they're all doing their own thing. So it's important that communication continues. Do we have any more questions? I see some chats, but maybe it's just talking.
We are good. It's just
Okay.
talking.
Okay. All right. Any questions about the KPI sheet or how this works? Again, you can get this here, meeting revenue goals. You click on it. And then when it opens, you're going to either have to file, make a copy, and it looks like this. You just name it whatever you want, and then you can edit it in Google Sheets. If you want to work in Excel, file, download, Excel. Oh, yeah, that says Excel. And then you have it and you can do whatever you want with it. The formulas and everything, and there aren't really many formulas. There's just the one running across for marketing. And over here, right here is the only formula. And that's pretty easy. But I think it'll stay. It'll stay anyway. Okay, if no questions, we're going to move on. All right, revenue strategies and actions. We're talking about how it's going to drop, right? How can you get it to stay up? What are some tricks, ways to increase revenue? New private pay business will help you, of course, increase revenue. Increasing billable hours with current clients. We just talked about that. Caregivers talking to scheduling and notifying. You can also, if you have the manpower, the woman power, whoever's out there, to make visits. We used to have someone go out, quality assurance, and they would do pop-in visits on the client and the caregiver. It was more supervisory for the caregiver. But if I go in there and things aren't looking so good and the client looks like maybe she needs more hours, or the caregiver pulls over to the side and says, oh my gosh, she needs more hours. Like, I'm so worried about her. It's nice to have someone physically out there sometimes to do that. Of course, when you sign the clients, you have to let them know we're going to be doing these pop-in visits. And we're not going to call you and tell you because it's a supervisory visit. Some of them are like, no, I don't want that. You can call me, I won't tell the caregiver. Some of them are totally fine with it. You can't just show up without letting them know that's going to be a part of the service. So have that conversation with them ahead of time. Hold on to your scheduled billable hours. We talked about this a little bit too. If somebody calls out, we have a replacement. They're on their way. They'll be here now, or don't. Would you like a replacement? Never ask that question. They're always going to say no. So hold on to the billable hours you have. You can lose a lot with call-offs. And the other thing with hold on to your scheduled billable hours, holidays. We charge time and a half on holidays.
Yes.
And so let me just grab a quick water. Some clients don't want to pay time and a half. They're just not going to do it. So we would put that in their profile. They don't want to pay time and a half. We were losing a lot though. So I started thinking, what if we call them and say, Thanksgiving's on Thursday. Would you like us to come Tuesday this week instead? They say, of course, that would be fabulous. And we had the schedulers do that. And a lot of our schedulers were very good at that. Remember though, they have to staff whatever plan you come up with. So they may not be the person that you want to have call. We had the marketers call because it was a salesy thing, right? So Christmas is Wednesday. Would you like us to come Monday or Thursday? So you don't lose those billable hours. Some people don't mind the time and a half, but there are quite a bit of holidays. And if you're charging time and a half and there's a reason for them, even if you're not charging time and a half, sometimes if their service day falls on Christmas, their family's there. I see it's on Christmas. Let's see you Monday instead. How does that work? Yes. So that's a great thing to hold on to those billable hours because it just doesn't take long for them to just start to, especially if you're going to see it every week if you're watching. Keep track of billable hours weekly. Are you on target? We just went through that in the KPI sheet. If you're watching your revenue every week, you're going to know where you're at, and you've got to figure out if it's dropping, what is happening. You've got to figure out why that is and get it turned around. Shop your competitors at least quarterly. Star 67, call them as an adult child and find out what they're charging. You may find that you're not charging enough. And a $1 an hour increase, your revenue is going to go up really fast. Can't do that, and you got to follow the marketplace. But if you're charging less than everybody else, it might be time to bump up your rates. Check in with past clients. As long as you know that they didn't die while they were on services with you, check in and see how they're doing. I've done this. I am so glad you called today. I couldn't remember the name of your company. Yes, I would love to have you guys come back. Can you come see me tomorrow? Check in, see how they are doing. reach out to all of your leads, old and new, all the leads that have come in, old and new. These are all great strategies to increase revenue. If you click on the blue, it'll bring you to this sheet of paper. I had something like this hung up in my cubicle. Revenue tools reminder sheet. Revenues drop in. What can I do? What can I do to get it going again? It's the things we just talked about. You can print this, you can add to it. Maybe you think of some things that you can do in your office that are different. So this is a great way to get revenue up and running if you know that it's going to drop or it is dropping. Prepare for and manage the anticipated December drop. What's happening in December? I'm sorry to say this, and as morbid as it may sound, they die. They die in December. I don't know what's in. Annette and Lisa, we've talked about this. I talk to this with clients all day long. They die in December, and it's usually the 24s. Yes, guys?
Yes.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
January too.
Yeah.
And January.
Yeah,
It's a December, January
Sick.
something.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's that
So
season.
it's yes, and I don't know why, it just happens. And maybe you guys that are watching can attest to this too. So work on daily on increasing revenue. You can look at the sheet we just went through. Increase your marketing efforts online and in the field. Really pump up what you're doing out there. If you want more 24s, go after 24s. If you want, you know, better relationships, use the leave behinds that we're creating for you. Do the pumpkin decorating contest. Do all the things that we're showing you. That is going to help you increase those marketing efforts. And whatever you're doing out in the field, put it on your social media, send it out in your newsletter. Everybody should be seeing it. It makes you warm, it makes you fuzzy, it makes you different than all the other home care agencies. Determine if clients with larger hours are going to remain active through December and beyond. And again, this is morbid, that right now we are just talking about revenue. If you're just looking at it from a revenue standpoint and we're selling tacos, are they all going to be here in December? I start looking at that, and I know that it's morbid, but how many of them are on hospice? How many of my 24s are on hospice right now? And are they going to be around still? If not, I need to start replacing them now, and you'll bump up really high until they're gone. You've got to be always 1 foot in today and 1 foot into next week. 1 foot into this quarter, 1 foot into next quarter. You have to be looking at what's coming too. Sign clients with more hours. Go after those 24s. If you don't know how to do that, get into the Mastery portal and go watch our Masteries from April 12th, April 26th, and May 10th. All of those were how to get 24-hour clients. And if it were me, I would start now, early October, I'd be starting to sign some 24s because we know what's coming. It's not going to hurt you to sign them anyway. It's going to bump up your revenue. But I would start thinking about it now. Lisa, question?
Oh, I was just going to say that was a 3-part series, right? That 12, 26.
Yes, it was a 3-part series. Those are the dates. So you can go into the Mastery portal, watch them. They're titled, but those are the dates. Watch them, and there's leave behinds to go with it.
And I wondered if I could if you went back just one slide, not this slide, but the one before. So hold on to your scheduled billable hours. Talking about holidays, when I was at an assessment or coming up with a plan of care and noticing that this person wants Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, for example, right? This is real. I think this has happened to everyone. I go, a lot of those holidays fall on Mondays, right? Or this year, Christmas is on a Monday. Do you want us to instead maybe push that to Tuesdays? Every time there's a holiday, so you're already getting ready for that. Because you already know they don't want to pay that time and a half, instead of hitting them right at that time. Of course, you want to give that to scheduling. You want to send out a reminder or give a call reminder. Remember, we're moving this next week. We're going to move Monday to Tuesday because of that holiday. You remember that, right? Okay, perfect. Voila. It might be a different caregiver, but at least you've already set the ground rules for that
expectation up at the beginning. That's a great. Do you want to have service on Mondays?
Exactly.
Move it, but do you want Mondays, or maybe Tuesday would be better for that?
Exactly.
So we wouldn't have to deal with that. That's a great idea. Okay, we did this one. Strategies to increase and maintain momentum. Strengthen your referral source networks. We have a great one. I'm not going to dig deep, but I'm going to show it to you. In the holidays, this is a great way to strengthen, and this starts in November. You give these out to the schools in your area. The children put their first name, their age, their grade in school. They color it, and they put a happy message to a senior. You've got your logo. You want to be careful with what your tagline is. You don't want to say keeping seniors at home, because this is going to go to assisted living. It's going to go to SNFs. It's going to go to everybody. The kids color them, you pick them up. And I would say do hundreds and hundreds of these if you can, because the SNFs, assisted living, they love these. They will have a holiday dinner and put this at everybody's table. They will let you walk through the building to deliver these. It's good cheer. It's fun. You're different. You're warm. You went through a lot of trouble to bring these beautiful pieces of artwork from the children to their people in their building. So we will get into this deeper, but this is the kind of thing, and the pumpkin decorating that Lisa's going to share with you, that is going to bring you referrals before the end of the year. Enhance your caregiver outreach. And again, these are links, you guys. If you are short on caregivers, run a job fair. Doesn't mean they're going to come to your building, but it gets them going. You can say in the job fair, where is it? Call or text now to schedule an interview. I only had 4 or 5 people actually show up to the job fair. It wasn't about that. It was about increasing this intensity and this, oh my gosh, if I call now, they're going to schedule me now, and I don't have to go to the job fair. And it just gets everybody going. And so we would hand this out at orientation. I would have links to this in Indeed. Anything I could do to get this whole job fair thing out there. You can post job fair on Indeed. It's not a display like this, but just that you're having one. It creates a sense of urgency. And so it's a quick, fast way to get caregivers in the door. So these are things that you want to do to increase and maintain momentum right now as you're hitting next quarter. Optimize scheduling, ensure efficient caregiver scheduling to maximize coverage. Make sure every caregiver is working. What hours do they want? Improve communication with clients regarding caregiver call-offs. We already talked about this. You don't want to lose those billable hours. So those are things you can do right now to increase and maintain the momentum now in this moment to get ready for what's coming next quarter. All right, we are in leave behinds. Lisa, you're up, unless there's questions. I don't see any questions.
Are there any questions? No. Wow, we had great timing. Holy Christmas. Okay, so September, we still have, a couple of weeks, and this weekend is the first day of fall, which is so cool. But anyway, so September is Fall Prevention Month. Just like these socks, our services can help to prevent fall. So the idea behind our leave behinds is to go out every 8 to 10 days and to have at least one thing that'll bring that social worker out to talk to you. So at least a face-to-face every month, one face-to-face at least every month with each person that you're really looking to talk with. On that note, here we go. I should have started with that, but whatever.
Oh, no, that's okay. So these are the socks that she's talking about here. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can order these, you can take these into just about anywhere, and you can give them out to the social workers, but you can get your logo printed on those. It's a little too late for that probably now. And we have some people on here that I know did receive these, and then next year they are going to get their logos printed on here. But imagine even going into an AL or a SNF and just giving the social worker a box of socks, and everyone has these on. And I just think that's really good. Represent your company throughout the building.
I just wanted to share this. This is Kim, and she did this with the socks. And so this is tying your field efforts to your online marketing. She posted this on LinkedIn. All of her referral sources are seeing this. She's handing this out to her referral sources, and she's tied the socks. So this is what it can look like when done. So way to go, Kim. I don't know if you're on here, you'll watch this later, but I saw this today. Super excited. She did a great job. Okay.
Yes,
here we go. Next one.
Thank you. Okay, so today is really like the last day, unless you're working on Saturday and Sunday, but rehab week. So I still want to encourage, I left this up only because I want to encourage you to still go talk to a social worker and just let them know that you appreciate what they're doing. And maybe next week you could do an end of summer ice cream social. I think that would still be really cute. Just going in. This is a surefire way to get them to come out and talk with you, because you can't just show up with bins of ice cream. You must plan this. So they're going to come and talk to you. They're going to see your heart. You're going to be able to serve their community and them, and it'll just be a blast. So see if you can get this done. You have today. I know that some of you can get out there and get this scheduled for next week, but you have today to do it. So I think it'd be great. I left it up just for that. And here's some ideas for you if you want to go out, just get those big old bins of ice cream from Costco or wherever and go out and have a blast with that community. All right. I know you guys have been waiting for this, and people had asked about this. And yay, we brought it back. So the time is now. Start gaining interest. This is a reminder, pumpkin decorating contest. You want to take this flyer out. You do want to talk to anyone at senior centers, SNFs, AL, independent livings, wherever you have connections and you're trying to build that community partnership, this is going to bring someone out to talk to you again for that face-to-face. Last year, I know that the winner will receive 3 free hours. We had people do 8 hours. And then I made a joke, can they divide that into 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here? Or do a split shift, like morning, evening, and then the next week or whatever. But that was just a joke. But anyways, so you want to get in front of them and start creating their interest now in September. October is just right around the corner. Go out and speak to social workers, especially the director of nursing. See if you can do something like this. And I don't think just dropping off and decorating, but if you could do that too. But I really think that creating a day of it, or maybe an hour of it at a couple different spots, whatever you can budget for, I think that would just be really great to do. Again, just show your heart and be a part of that community, taking the pictures, just getting really involved. There's a Canva link and a Google link to go in and change that, whatever they're going to win, whether it's 3 hours or whatever you're willing to do, and take lots of pictures and send to us. We want to see that. But here you also have, here's another just really quick piece, text pictures too. So now you have that social worker's cell phone number. So we're always trying to gather information, because if you're talking to a social worker or someone who's in charge of giving you referrals, right? If you're a texting basis, what a game changer that is just in itself. So
we have a question. Do we provide the pumpkins? No, we don't provide them. They're real pumpkins. And these are pictures of people who have actually participated and they're just decorating it. And they really have fun doing this. I've done this year after year, and I'm telling you, end of August, early September, they're asking me, you do the pumpkin decorating? It was so much fun. We had so much fun with it. This little gal here, this little glamour gal, the blue one, she was on she was on a mirror that spun around. And so just, they really get really creative with it. They really enjoy it. It's a happy time. You're changing the mood that they're in, maybe just making things fun for them. So go ahead, Lisa.
Yeah. We actually had one at a hospital where different departments did different themes. And so there was a labor and delivery one. These were hilarious. They were absolutely hilarious. It was actually like a mama pumpkin giving birth. It was great. It was pretty cool. But what to get? So these pumpkins, their official name is actually We Be Little Pumpkins, because they be little pumpkins. And so you just grab a bunch of those. You can purchase at farmers markets. I was looking up to try to like hone in on a couple of places, but you can go to like Sprouts, maybe Trader Joe's, just Google them and see for your local area where you can pick those up. And you start to drop them off the 1st of October to give them plenty of time to get them decorated. So they can basically do this from the 1st to whatever the deadline is. I think it's the 31st. And so participation can be different. I think I already spoke on this. 1 to 2 per place that you're going to drop them off. Or like I said, maybe make a day of it, maybe 1 a week or something, make a day of it, different places that you really want to focus on building that relationship. These little guys, the top with the little bats, I really love this one, but it's sold out right now, but it might not be soon. And then, so these other ones are cute too. They're little like stickers. There's a link there to go on Amazon. You can find other similar things. You can also buy paints. They actually have these really cool markers that go on just like paints, whatever you're comfortable with. But there's the Amazon link there too.
Yeah, that's if you're going to do an event. So I had 2 different marketers, and one really loved the pumpkin decorating. The other one liked it, but she wanted to be more, I want to sit with them. I want to spend time with them. And so she did the decorating, but she also in a couple of places held an event. And so if you hold an event, like Lisa mentioned, you're going to decorate with them. You can't expect them to have the stuff to decorate with. You have to bring everything with you. And so that's where this stuff comes in the Amazon link. And you're decorating probably with the seniors in the building, and you're playing spooky music, and maybe you're bringing cookies. So there's lots of ways to do this. I don't know, I think both were equally effective, and your marketers you could do both. Pick some facilities where you want to sit with them, and some where but the texting, I'm telling you, things changed for us. This is how you get things moving. We've got lots of holidays coming up, and it's really fun, and it really makes you different. And the referrals will start coming in when you start doing stuff like this.
Definitely. And I'm glad you touched on that, because I always assume that we all know this, but you have to bring everything. So sometimes even the table, like the table that you're going to set up everything, like you said, refreshments, cookies, napkins, a big bag to throw everything away in or gather everything in. So make sure that you bring everything too. Here
And
are
that's
just
just if
some
you're doing an
staples.
activity. If you're gonna drop off pumpkins,
Right.
then of course they're gonna do, we didn't provide all this stuff. They did this themselves and they love it. And your car's
Right.
full
Oh
of
yeah.
pumpkins. It's so fun.
Yeah. These are just some examples of things that have been. Look at how cool this is. Look at the little pumpkin with the walker. Hilarious. And of course, the eyelash lady and the ghost. These are and the big eyeball. Wow.
Yes.
These are so very cool. So just lots of
One
different
of my
ideas.
marketers had children come in and paint with the seniors in one of
Do
the
like
buildings.
an
And that went over really well.
intergenerational type of
It was a
that.
multi-generational. Yeah, I think she had a Girl Scout troop or something. So they came in and painted the pumpkins with the seniors, and that went over really. There's so many things you can do with this. Have
Definitely.
fun. That's the biggest piece.
Yes.
Oh, here's some more.
And then remember that too, because I think that those same children can come in and trick or treat. And I think that they absolutely love that. I know that's off topic, but the trick or treating would be really fun for the residents or the patients there as well as
That's true. That's a good idea. Oh boy, we're just
yeah,
going on and on.
definitely.
These are people that did this last year. This is how they taped the flyer to the pumpkin. I think it's good to let them know about it now, and then when you bring the pumpkin, give them this again, probably. That's a good idea. Okay.
Yeah. And just some more ideas there. Again, everybody loves this. This will be, they'll talk about this. Everyone that you do this with this year, they'll want to do it again next year. And maybe you can add a couple of other people, maybe have a waiting list. You never know. All right, so getting into National Case Management Week. This is where case managers from everywhere get together, and this year's theme is powering the future of healthcare. However, their theme always, if you go to their swag store, is case managers are rock stars. So I wanted to tie them both together. And so if you go to the next slide, we're pairing that up with, hey, some rock stars. So we're giving them some Scott's shaking his head. We're powering them up, and then we're giving them the good energy there with the star stones there. I think it's just a cute idea. They are rock stars. They have to deal with so much, and
I think they need an energy drink. I'm
amen
sure
to that.
some of them will grab that so fast and just down it.
Yes,
I'm sure that they need that every once in a while. I love that.
yes, for sure.
Oh.
But I like they had peach because I love peach flavor. But yeah, so I love peaches and I thought that was perfect. But you can even do a case of this and take it in. You can do just one-on-one with a little bag and a little star. But yeah, so I thought this would be a cute idea. And you can change these up. I really want to see pictures of what you guys do with all of these. So Bone and Joint Health National Action Week, the 12th to the 20th. So take care of your bones. You can go off to different doctors' offices and talking about maybe different things like that. But our caregivers help patients maintain a healthy diet and exercise plan because those are some of the things that you need for healthy bones and joints. And so just playing off of that by bringing your caregivers into it, they're trained in this. We want to give tidbits of what we do because everybody knows what home care is, but how deep do you go? What are you able to do? And so you want to always be dripping information to them, so to speak, every time you go out. You want to give them something new that they haven't really, maybe they didn't think of that. Oh, wow, getting out in the sun, that's good for your bones and joints. Wow, I didn't even think about that. And that's something a caregiver can do, get you in a routine, walking out and about. And so I just wanted to touch on this. And also the next slide, because I wanted to use the bone pens again. That's really why.
And it is Halloween still. It's still October. So
right.
yeah.
So I just wanted to touch on that. And I thought how cool to have some bone pens, little bone clips that you could like maybe have a bag and clip the bag closed, or mini skeletons. You can touch all the bones and joints there and just add that to a little bag with some more of your tchotchkes or your little giveaways that have maybe your logos and stuff on it. All right, we're always waiting to give you a hand. Happy Halloween. Call or text Valerie when you need a hand in home care. Get it?
Love it.
So the next slide, of course, this I really love because we have gloves. All you need is some glove filler, some candies. Annette says, don't forget the little spider rings to hold the, yes, tie them close and do a little reverse trick or treat there. Take this out. I think people are going to come out of their office just to see this. I think it's a good idea. Just go reverse trick or treat and say hello.
Yep.
All right. So this one is also one of those that we just keep bringing back because people absolutely love this. This is also going to get the, let's just say, social worker to come out and talk with you because you can't just go and start taping stuff all over people's walls, right? So you need to coordinate this. You can customize these. The turnaround is really fast. They're about $50, but I mean, customized. In the next slide, you'll see there's all sorts of different themes and things like that. And there's Halloween ones, but I really think that this brings people together. And you want to, in the message that I put in there was grateful for your partnership or thankful for your partnership. Even if you don't have a partnership yet, you're putting it out in the universe there, and then they're going to be walking by this. Their employees and people, patients, clients are going to be seeing this, and they can actually go by and just color and maybe on their breaks or whatever. But I think this will really bring people together too. And of course, your logo's there. I would even go as far as to maybe underneath this poster have a little tray, a little table that has the markers and maybe
You have to bring the markers and the pins to stick them in the wall,
Right.
all the things.
the
You
tape.
can't count on
You gotta bring the
any.
tape. Make it easy
All
for
of it.
everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
But I
this thankful for your partnership. If you look over here where the little bird is, it'll be like that. And I would probably color in those myself before dropping it off. That part sticks out. And of course the logo is going to stick out. I think the logo might be something you color too. I'm not absolutely sure, but I've actually seen these up in hospitals. They might put them out in the lobby for people to color. It might go in the break room. It's very therapeutic though, and it'll be up for a whole month if you get it to them in early November.
Yeah, and then you take pictures after.
Lisa, we've got, I have a couple questions. Kaysen says we are doing a large event tomorrow with fall prevention label on a bag with the socks and a night light in the white bag. I will share pictures of the table when we set up. Oh, I love that. I love that idea. And then what would you recommend for people that don't do Halloween? Oh, for October.
I would say fall harvest. I would just do fall harvest. It's fall, y'all. Something a little different. You don't have to do the candy. You could definitely, I don't know if you go, can you go back to the Octobers really quickly? I'm just trying to think. The rock star, those are all something that you can do. If you don't want to do pumpkin decorating, I feel like it's still very universal. Scarecrows, Lacey Walker said scarecrows. Yeah. Something like that. You could even do pumpkin decorating as scarecrows. I don't know.
I saw a leaf behind one time that said falling for you for fall, and then they have fall things to go with it. Cider. Oh, and it says drop off cider and donuts. That's good for the fall.
Sometimes
that's cool.
I used to get they used to sell little cider. We're here in New York, so it's apple, it's fall. You can get little cider containers and then wrap up a donut or bring fresh donuts and cider to the staff. So
yeah,
things.
That's a good candied apples. I've seen people drop off candied apples. They're individually wrapped too. You can do
All Saints Day.
All Saints Day instead of Halloween. That's a good idea. Yeah. Christmas and do 2 tree decorations. Okay. Yeah, we could do that. All right. We'll keep going.
Definitely. Okay. Yeah. Lots of good ideas. Okay. November leave behind. Here we go. Don't be a turkey and stress over discharges. That's the coolest. We can help. Call us now. We have trained caregivers ready to get your patients home safely. Call or text now. Again, this is giving little pieces of information that I want them to know that I can help them right now. I have someone available. I can get your patient home today safely. Just give me a call. And so I think
scheduling needs to be staffed out so that you can do that. You can call, and recruiting and retention needs to have been hiring so you can do that. Okay, so here's the next. I love the next slide.
And that's so I don't have to go and do the shift myself.
Exactly. I've done that.
I will. But here we go. So these little guys, I shared this with somebody earlier. I think Lee, if he's still on here, I shared this with him earlier, gave him a little sneak peek of what he's going to see today. But these little turkey stress balls are the cutest. People will actually bring these out every year as a decoration for their office or in the communities. And you get your logo on this. How cute is that? I just really love these. I think these should definitely be something that we adopt every single year and bring these out. I love them.
And it says don't stress, and it's a stress ball. I just think it's so cute. And of course the logo looks a little different. It's just in black, but it's a cute little turkey butt, and people keep it on their desk year after year. Seriously, they would bring them out and set them on their desk. I'm like, there's that turkey again. Oh, no turkey butt jokes allowed. I just blew that, Scott.
She just did. She said butt.
I just did. Okay. All righty. On to Veterans Day.
Yeah, and we definitely do want to honor all who served. Join us in thanking our veterans for their service and sacrifice for sure. For more information about home care services, call or text Valerie or whomever, not Valerie. And then I found this cool, like everything together as one. So I was thinking that there's pins here that have the American flag pinned into the leaf behind. There's also keychains and these cool American flag pins, and they all come, this bag already comes with it. So I was just like, wow, that really makes it
Oh,
super
this is a
easy.
package?
Yes, it comes
Yeah.
all
Oh,
together,
wow.
even
Very
the little
nice.
bags. I know. When I saw this, I was like, holy Christmas, let's do this one. So,
That's
and
really
you
good.
get between 150. Of course, there's a Canadian version, Tamara. Hold on.
Oh,
That's
look at you,
it.
Lisa.
There we go. Tamara already knows me.
She already asked. She's from Canada, everybody.
So I liked this, yes, because this is for Remembrance Day, right, in Canada, and join us in thanking our veterans for their service and sacrifice. Little Canadian flag on the top, and then if you go here, it is the red poppies, which I really love. You could use these for the U.S., which I didn't really put together in my head until last week, I think. But yeah, I actually love the poppies so much in
They're
the
beautiful.
flags.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think that these are really cute. You can add these to again the handout, or even pin someone. Like, can I pin you? I think that's very personal. Yeah, I want to pin you, and I think they'll remember that if you did that too. And let's see. Okay, so Hospice and Home Care Month. Get ready. A recipe of caring. So this, I don't know how many times I've gotten calls that you're like, oh, we don't need you anymore. Mom's on hospice. And I'm like, whoa, wait a second. You do. And let me tell you why. And so you get to educate your client's daughter or whomever on why they really do need. And so this really speaks on how hospice and home care support each other. Another little tidbit that you want people to understand, right? We do support each other. We work together all the time. And so there's some ingredients here, best served warm. And this is actually an original poem by me, just so you guys know.
She did write this.
Wow.
Go ahead and read it, Lisa.
Yeah, I didn't know
Oh my
that. Lisa,
gosh.
read
Okay.
it.
A gentle touch. Now I feel like I'm on the spot. A gentle touch, a loving smile, a friendly ear. Let's talk a while. A hug, a dance, a laugh so bold. Let's reminisce on days of old.
Love it. That is
Right?
beautiful. And to go
And
with
then, yeah, so the mason jars, and we'll do this again probably for Christmas or the holiday season there too. But in the mason jars, you get these little cookie mix. They're like 6.25 ounces, so 6 1/4. Fill that up, fill the mason jar up. You could even do sprinkles on the top or chocolate chips, whatever you want, peanut butter pieces, whatever you want to do. But you seal this jar up, maybe get a beautiful little bow, and you can actually maybe glue this recipe card to the mason jar, or just get a string and wrap it around and have it there. But I just think this is really cute. I was trying to think of something to go with this, and I thought that this kind of matched the theme there.
Definitely.
And Dawn, I know that you said too that we've received these and kept them forever and used them later. You just have them. Yeah, I just have something like this.
I had a bunch of kids come over that I didn't know were coming over, and I had 3 of these, and I'm like, let's make cookies. It was real easy because it's all done. Throw an egg and water and oil, and you're good to go. Oh, it looks like Scott, you have a question?
Yeah, and you just touched on it, but if you're making 100 of these things, I'm assuming when you're doing 50 call outs a week and you've got to make these on the side, you're hoping that your marketing person is dedicated enough to do that after hours at home.
I always have my children do it, and they absolutely love doing it. But when we did this, we sat down as an office and we bought the flour. We made our own cookie mix. It was cheaper because we did 500, maybe more than that, maybe 600. So we ordered it. We got enough flour, enough everything, and we took the jar and we all would scoop in a row, because we also gave them to our caregivers. We did it around the holidays. So all the referral sources got one. And then when the caregivers came in for their party, they got one. And so you can do it all hands on deck. You can have your children do. My children, they've been doing this for years. They loved it. They were like, do you have anything I could? They loved to sit down and order pizza, and all the neighborhood kids would come over and put all the marketing stuff together. If it takes less than an hour, whenever I had my marketing meetings, we would do the things while we were having our meeting. Everybody's hands were busy. So there's lots of different ways to do it, but you're right, Scott, and maybe you don't do this for everyone. We've got lots of leave behinds, right? Some might get this, some might get something else. You have to maybe pick and choose. If this is a lot to do, maybe it just goes to your top referral sources or people you're really trying to get into.
I need to really find another marketing person that has 6 kids.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, somebody just said, who said that? Lacey said this marketer is that dedicated. Yes.
She is, she's on it.
It's definitely that, because Scott, the reaction you get when you walk in with this,
Oh, sure.
referrals that follow it.
Oh no, I get
Right.
I get that part totally.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And you can pick and choose, and you can cherry pick who you're going to take this out to. It doesn't have to be everyone. Respect the budgets and whatever you can budget for and what you have time for. But yeah, it's
good if you live in a cul-de-sac with lots of children, like I do. They've all been party to all of this stuff.
Okay, I know we're a little bit over, but back by popular demand, get patients home in a snap. Snappy discharges, call us now. So again, we want them to understand that we are ready, willing, and able to help get your patients home safely. And you can pair them with these little guys here, the Cheez-Its or the more healthy version. And play on words there. And then this one here, remember that October 1st is International Coffee Day. This is a really good one. Again, you see the text. So this is coffee time on me, redeemed by text only to set a date. So you're getting that cell phone number, game changer again. If you're texting back and forth with this person, you don't have to have them come out somewhere and meet you for coffee. You can take coffee to them. We talked about this, I think, last time. You can take one of those gallons from Starbucks with all the fixins, the cups, the stirrers, the everything, and just set up maybe a little table for them one day or something like that too. You can be real creative with all of this stuff. It's just good ideas from our team. Yeah.
And when you're on a texting basis with a referral source, it is a game changer. We've all experienced that and talked about it. If you got to bring them a coffee to get their cell phone number or a pumpkin, okay, whatever, we'll do it. That's it, everybody. I hope everyone enjoyed that and you all have a great weekend. Any questions before we go? Oh, Kimberly is here. Kimberly, we loved it. I hope it was okay. I shared your LinkedIn. All right, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.